I know the groaning's getting tiring, but I'm kind of like that's how I feel. It's like pretty 24/7. That's how I feel. It's just groaning. Welcome back to Snoot Game. I watch her enter the restroom and re-enter the gym. I think there's lemonade and stuff by the food tables. Hey, you. Raptor Jesus on a cross of rock, give me strength. Hey. Is Fang okay? No. Tell me about Fang. Are they happy? I'd said so. She and Azer are on speaking terms. Did Fang say anything about me? Would they ever forgive me? Look, Trish, this shit, it ends now. She said she would have constant nightmares about you wanting to talk to her. Maybe this could have been sorted out, but not today. You're doing more harm by staying here, though. I'd advise you stay clear of her for now. Trish is getting teary. I better shut up now. It's okay. Tell Fang... Lucy. I only want her to be happy. I don't want to be a bother anymore. She'll never see or hear from me again. I told Spears to cancel the performance. I'm going home. Maybe there'll be another chance sometime. Bye, Anon. She left. Oh well. I get the drinks and return to Lucy. She downs the whole glass in one shot. You good? Yeah, fuck. Splashing your face with water works wonders. I'm good to go. I look at the crowd gathering around the stage. Principal Spears moves the podium set and taps on the microphone. Yeah, good to go. Speaking of, I want to get some fresh air. Finally, a real smile from Lucy. Yeah, fresh air sounds pretty good right now. I hold my hand out for Lucy, and Lucy's hand links with it. Walking out of the stuffy gymnasium, we're met with the cooling evening air. Damn it, I'm tired. I feel all the tension leave my body as Lucy's body presses close to my side. Cold? A little. I'm not used to wearing these things. I mean, you had a pretty big midriff when... Keep my mouth shut. My hand leaves hers before Lucy can balk. I wrap my arm around her. How's this? I can one-up this. Right, Wings. Her wings wrap around both of us as a feathered cloak of warmth. You want me to call a taxi or something? Nah, we can walk home. It's a 15-minute walk to her neighborhood, which is filled with comfortable silence for most of the way. Guess Lucy is glad I'm able to put everything that happened tonight behind us. As we round the corner past the bus stop, I let out an audible groan as my eyes land on a particular cart. It's the same hot dog vendor from before, illuminated under a street light from the same spot. She notices us almost immediately and begins wildly waving. Oh, it's this chick. Does she know you? I shrug and shake my head as we continue to approach the vendor. You. Well, if it isn't my favorite skinny. And you brought your lady friend. It's like 10 at night. You can't get that many customers this late, right? Hey, you're here, aren't you? Now, what can I get you two lovebirds? Nothing says a date night like some steaming hot Franks. I think we're good. We're just on our way back, and... Fang's face glows bright red as she grasps her stomach. We left before we could eat, didn't we? Oh, sorry. No one ever misses prom food, right? Prom? Oh man, that was the life of my part. I was the life of the party at mine. I tell you kids got some Reef City's dumb mascot. Wait. Tell me you kids got Reef City's dumb mascot. Okay, there it is. We shake our heads. What? Well, at least you spiked the punch, right? More shaking. Seriously? Please don't tell me you egged the at least you egged the principal's car. No, we, got into a fight. The vendor winces, but just as quickly puts on her smile. Oh, that's a bummer. You know, prom is where I discovered hot dogs were my true calling. They could be yours too, you know. Right, I don't think it will be. Mishka, what do you have? What? Why do you have my Meta Knight plug? Get out of here. Right, I don't think it will be. Look, can we just get, like, some food? Our night's been a fucking wash. Night's still young, though. Listen to the sizzling meat as we wait. Look, kids, prom, it's not as special if you ask me. What makes something special is on you. For me, I think back to the shit I can actually remember. Carfate is a hell of a drug. I'm getting off topic. Point is, the night isn't over yet. She motions to the table for us to sit at. Enjoy your dogs. Think about something to do with the rest of your night. Something worth remembering. I'm gonna start packing up for the night, though, so that's enough chatter from me. Thanks. Lucy and I sit at the plastic folding table with our artery-clogging grease tubes. Dad grills these sometimes. I've never actually had one that wasn't ketchup and mustard. Actually, I can't even tell what's all on this. There's so much junk dumped on. They're just plain chili cheese dog. In a hot minute since I had one, figured why not? She made a good point. What should we do with the rest of the night? Lucy chews contemplatively. Not sure if she heard me right or she's giving me a silent review. Whatever we do, I just want to get out of this dress first. It's freezing. I think your dad will let us watch the movies. You think your dad will let us watch the movies or something? Don't know, maybe. We only have cop movies and hunting documentaries, though. I'm down for it. After finishing, we wave goodbye to the vendor and start down Lucy's neighborhood. Oddly enough, there's no cars in the driveway when we arrive. Folks get groceries this late at night. They probably took the opportunity to go out on a date themselves. Don't remember the last time they took the occasion, though. Been maybe 3 years? Lucy kicks over a rock in the walkway and gets the key taped under it. Your parents put that in there instead of a doormat? Nah, I put this here. They don't know about it. Get kicked out for the night one too many times, you find ways back in your own. Lucy stretches when we walk in. I'll change back into normal clothes. Hang here for a while, okay? I nearly sit in my normal place on the couch when I notice the armchair. The now vacant armchair. That's for Lucy's dad only. Oh, how it calls to me. That's a lot better. Anon? Lucy, what are you doing up this late at night? Better not be listening to that ratchet again. Oh my god. Anon, get out of there before you leave your scent. Son, you can't be serious. Hey, it's your head on the line. He just sat there once and he ended up with a new scar. Suddenly I find myself seated in my normal spot after all. I think they actually are on a date. If that's the case, the house is ours for at least an hour. Oh, sweet. You gonna raid your dad's liquor cabinet then? He doesn't have one. Mom won't let him. Damn it, he really is whipped. So, movie night then. Well, I was thinking... Lucy took hold of the coffee table in the middle of the room and started pushing it aside. Why are you doing that? The living room now more open, Lucy approaches the antique stereo in the corner. Oh. I was really looking forward to dancing with you tonight, Anon. Double damn it, I thought I managed to get out of that. The look in Lucy's eyes, I nod my head. Yes, always wanted to try out one of Mom's lights. The music playing from the stereo sounds positively ancient. Probably one of her parents' CDs, or if it even uses CDs. Wait, what was that about lights? Lucy practically skips to the light switch and dims them. Then she flicks a hidden switch that casts the room in a hazy violet glow. Oh. My eyes are drawn to the glowing marks all across her. Wow. Like what you see? She turns back to me and the anticipation in her eyes makes me feel more nervous. Shit, I just remembered. Just so you know, I can't dance. I mean, I really can't dance. Like, quadriplegic with Down syndrome can't dance. Dude. But, yes, I've been waiting since forever. Her hand clasps mine, and Lucy doesn't seem bothered at all with how moist my palms are. We moved to the impromptu dance floor and hand in hand until we managed to find an open space. Right, okay, like this. Right hand on her hip, I think. Try to take her right hand with my left, but Lucy shakes her head. Both of her arms wrap closely around my neck. Lucy's body is pressed against mine, and the contours of her little frame are fitting very well with mine. Oh hey, those alarms aren't broken. My left hand lands on her hips too, and now I can't stop thinking about how Lucy molds against my body near perfectly. Dude, just follow my lead, okay? Mom gave me some lessons. I nod stiffly. Lucy mutters a 1-2 count before taking a left step back. My right foot follows and lands on her toes. Ow! Sorry. No, don't worry. Just, slowly, okay? Yeah, okay. Lucy repeats the step back. I step forward and manage somehow. She then steps to the side and I try to follow. Okay. Our awkward steps continue like this. A couple successful steps. And then I ruin it with a heavy step on our dainty toes. But slowly those failures are less and less common. By the third song, Lucy and I are finally managing to basically waltz. As the night goes on, the dance becomes more natural. In the light of the various strobes, I'm able to relish in the moment being this close face to face. Whenever one of the lights passes directly through her eyes, the glow and the luster of cut amber and her diamond pupils soften. There's no one else in the room right now, it's just us. This music does not fit at all in this scenario, I don't feel. Well, you think it's going well? What? Our prom night. It didn't go as planned, but I like where it's taken us. I wouldn't rather be anywhere else right now. Me neither. The last song slowly fades away, leaving us in a comfortable silence in each other's arms. Under the black lights, I can fully take in Lucy's beauty. I felt humbled that she considered this horrible night to still have gone well. Lucy's eyes become lidded as she leans towards my face. I meet her halfway, our mouths melding together. For all that happened tonight, and still Lucy enjoyed it. 3 months later. 8 months since I first joined Volcano High, and I felt it just like yesterday. Oh, I think we're nearing the end. The sun bears down on us in an atmosphere that's more water than air. Somehow I feel like I'm the only one feeling the heat right now, but the jacket stays on. Nazer finally took a day off from his part-time job working at Grub Club, so the three of us went to the park for something of a picnic. I don't like that scowl. I will not make the delivery dance. Anon, stop asking me to do it. At least tell me how often customers ransom your tips for it. Too often. Now stop asking. Lucy just tosses a forkful of chili cheese fries on Nazer's shirt. He jumps immediately to his napkin to wipe it off. No! Relax, you're wearing another anyway, so how and why, I still don't know. It's for conditioning. I can't stop my training routine even in the off-season. Naomi isn't even here leering over you anyways. I'm dying here in just one jacket. How are you even alive? Well, my skin is I toss over a fork of flies in the other half of his shirt. Lucy offers a fist for me to bump while he recoils the half-finished expletives. I down the rest of my soda to keep alive and look down at my plate. Not really that hungry anymore. Should just toss. Hey, whoa! Don't finish that thought. Give me. Don't. I shuffle my plate to him and the rest of my elbows on the picnic table. Rest my elbows on the picnic table. I cannot talk. A familiar voice, chock full of cheery energy, alerts me to her and her food cart's arrival. Oh, great. Well, if it isn't my favorite high school sweethearts. I haven't seen you two for quite a bit of a spell now. How you two doing? What you been up to since your graduation? Oh, you know, the usual. Dreading the future as an adult, trying to figure out what to do for a living, stuff like that. The more you think about it, the more daunting it becomes. You gotta let go of your expectations and see where life takes you. Lucy makes it sound worse than it is. We've only been out of school for like 3 months. Only 3 months? Gosh, I could have sworn a lot more time had passed since then. Now, that's something I can wholly agree with. These last few months have felt like years to me, both in a good and bad way. So, you two have any plans for now that you're both adults? The vendor's words, without realizing, strike a very specific, very sore chord with Lucy. She suddenly wraps her arms around herself and shuts her eyes. Before I can move to reassure Lucy, the street vendor notices the error of her words. What's wrong, Shug? Was it something I said? No, it's nothing. The street vendor gives Lucy a raised eye look. Now, Shug, I can tell when someone's upset, and you right now are upset. So what's got you all down so all of a sudden? Lucy hesitates on hearing the words. Mishko, what are you doing underneath my desk? She takes a second to seemingly think about what she'll say next before letting out a sigh. It's just things are changing so quickly, and it feels like I'm losing everything that I've come to love recently. Lucy shoots me a loving gaze before returning her attention to the street vendor. There's also the fact that I'll be so alone. You? Alone? What about that hunk of a boyfriend standing right next to you now? I do my best to try and hide the blush there's no doubt forming on my cheeks. I mean, Lucy lets out another sigh, and this one more frustrated. I'm actually leaving tomorrow. Oh. Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to join the military. I didn't want to bring this up here on the last date Lucy and I could have. Yeah, he'll be gone, and I cut off contact with some people. Ah, you fell out with your old friends. Lucy gives the street vendor a sad nod. I don't really have any plans for the future. They always seem to change, and I can never decide. Street vendor gives my girlfriend a soft, understanding look as she places down her tongs and walks around her food cart so that she's standing side by side with Lucy. I lost contact with my old high school friends as well, so don't go thinking anything's your fault. From what I see here, you still have what's most important. She gestures to me and then to Nazer, who looks up from the remains of my leftovers like a deer being caught in headlights. You got this from Berta, right? You know she put sawdust in the fry to save money. Anyways, don't fret about friends or people you lost along the way. I know it can be hard, but it's not the end of the world. You still have your health. You still have your youth. You still got your family. The street vendor turns her gaze back to me and gives me a smile. You haven't managed to scare me off all these years, so why stop it now? Oh, wait, I'm still fucking reading in her voice. No, you still haven't managed to scare me off all these years, so why stop now? Oh, look at me getting sentimental like I'm my grandma. Shouldn't be guessing like this, and your situation's probably more complex than I think. No, that helps. You're right. I still have lots of people here for me. The street vendor seems satisfied with the answer. Don't get distracted by what ifs and should haves and the if onlys. Only the things you should choose for yourself are the truth of the world. Only the things that you choose for yourself are the truth of your world. The street vendor gives Lucy a pat on the shoulder before returning to the helm of her food cart. Didn't read that. But she wheels around with surprising dexterity. Hey, if you ever feel alone and need to choose someone else's ear off with your woes, me and my delicious hot dogs are always available. Without another word, the street vendor walks away in search of another customer to cater to, leaving me and Lucy to absorb the sagely advice. Before either of us can truly process what just happened, Hazer walks up to us while wiping his hands and mouth with a napkin. So, you guys ready to go? I give Lucy a glance. She returns it somewhat somberly. Yes. Mishka. Really, girl, what is your problem? What is your problem? Nazer drives us back to my place in relative silence. He stops in front of my block and unlocks the doors. See you tomorrow, man. Yeah. Well, enjoy your last night together. Lucy and I step out of the car and he speeds away like normal. Barty shipped everything important back home and donated the books. Even the TV is gone. All that remains is basic commodities the place came with. But with Lucy here, it doesn't feel nearly as depressing as I thought it'd be. She must have heard this as she pressed closer to me, her head resting on my shoulder. I can rent a movie on my phone for tonight. That sound like a plan? Actually, I wanted to look back through those pictures we took together. I nod in response. We curled together on my beds, staring at Lucy's phone app boot up. The summer was well spent. Lucy and I got to go all over town. Well-documented series of escapades from local farmers markets to a guided tour through a docked warship. Lucy and I share frequent quips and anecdotes about our experiences. Eventually, the timeline goes back far enough that some familiar faces start showing up. Unwelcome familiar faces that quickly get swiped past. As we keep swiping past older photos, I can see something in Lucy's eyes. I find it hard to describe, a mix of sorrow and longing and something I can't put my finger on. Lucy? My interdiction snaps her out of her mood, and she sets her phone down gently on the empty computer desk. Sorry, Her eyes linger on the cellular device. I have at least 2 other phones with pictures in them. I don't think I'll ever look through those now. Or maybe I'll do it when I really feel like letting go was the best decision. Lucy casts her gaze around the barren room. It's not really fair to delete them, though. I could just forget about them. I'm for getting things on demand. I take her hand and give me a reassuring squeeze. And give her a reassuring... Give it a reassuring... I can't speak or read. I'm stupid, retarded. Lucy sighs, and her exhaled breath seems to expel her mood. I look at the clock and nearly jump. We had been looking at all these pictures for a long time, long enough for hunger once again finding us. I moved to the kitchen and looked through my mini fridge. There isn't much left, some green onions, a few pieces of beef, and 5 eggs. Meanwhile, Lucy looks through my pantry and cupboards for anything to cook. After a minute of searching, she comes across 2 cups of Patchy Man ramen and just a week shy of their expiration day. Discovered a new recipe. The meal prep didn't take long for 2 adults. It isn't the most filling of dinners, but it would hold us for over quite nicely until morning. With our feasts finished, there's nothing else to do now. With nothing else to do now that all my stuff's packed and shipped off to rock bottom, Lucy and I just return to my bed. I close my eyes for a bit, trying to get lost in my girlfriend's warm embrace. Suddenly I feel a jab on my ribs. I look down at Lucy, who's poking my chest. Lucy, what are you doing? Oh, just making sure. Making sure of what? You know, that you're all healed up. Lucy, it's been 5.5 months since that accident. I think I'm pretty healed by this point. Lucy doesn't stop poking me. If anything, she's increasing the ferocity of her pokes. Not going not for just my chest, but other parts of my stomach and armpit. Lucy, cut it out. I try to be stoic, but I can't help but giggle as Lucy turns it into a literal tickle monster. I decide to return the favor by also poking her, starting with her stomach and gradually moving up to her chest and armpits. Initially, I hover a finger over her snoot and a mischievous grin spreading over my lips. Anon, don't you dare. I allow her to giggle as I poke her snoot. Boop. That seems to do it, and Lucy pulls me closer to her, wrapping me in a tight and warm hug. I return the embrace, tempted to resume my tickling assault, but far too comfortable in my Tarot GF's embrace to care about anything in the world. As our laughter dies down, it comes to mind that this might be the last time I get a hold her like this. I'm going off to the army tomorrow. I'm gonna get shipped off to Raptor Jesus knows where, and there's a good chance I might not be coming back. It brings my situation to a somber light. I double my embrace on Lucy, a more primal part of my mind unwilling to let go of her. I raise her up and press my head against her chest. Her heartbeat greets me. It's soft yet hastened. It's like it's trying so desperately to come off as calm and relaxed when it knows what a terrible future awaits. A heartbeat I may never hear again. It almost breaks my own heart. I can feel Lucy's hands trace along my shoulders and across my neck to cut my face. Her angelic hands never, ever so gentle, guide me to look in her eyes. She has a smile with a hint of mischief. Before I realize where this is going, her finger lands on my nose. Boop. Her smile widens to a playful grin. I can't help but join in. Such a beautiful sight to behold. How could I resist? 1 inch closer, and our lips meet. All in all, it isn't that bad of a night after all. I woke up absolutely spent, covered in feathers and Lucy's ambrosia scent hanging heavy over the bedsheets. Lucy's already awake and she's bathed before me. She's now rummaging through my fridge for whatever food we have left. Rather than waste time asking the obvious, I decide to hit the shower. As the water strips away last night's scents off me, I get to think about how Lucy might be feeling right about now. I imagine what tomorrow will be like, not just for me, but also for Lucy. Suddenly, she's about to have another big change thrust upon her life. The 3rd or 4th one this year. From the non-binary thing, to the band, to the betrayal, and finally having a human boyfriend. Only to have him go so abruptly. I'm surprised she hasn't gone insane after all she's endured. I open the bathroom door and see Lucy sitting on my bed, staring blankly at her phone and swiping across messages. What's up? Nazir said he'll be here in about an hour. Knowing him, he'll probably take 40 minutes. $10 and he leaves another set of skid marks on the road outside. I sit next to her on the bed. What are you checking? Old messages and photos. You know, it's weird. There's not enough pictures of you in here. Hold on, let's fix that. Lucy raises her phone and points the camera lens at me. Stop smiling, you look retarded. Alright, cool. We go silent again for maybe a minute or two. The overbearing silence is broken when Lucy lets out a heavy sigh. Do you really have to go? I can't help but let out a heavy sigh of my own. Today I'll get on a bus and it'll be a Michael Tarpit movie for a few years. Honestly, never thought these last few months were ever going to end. There's a heavy silence between Lucy and me for a few seconds. It still feels wrong to me, you know? And I'm still too new at this boyfriend stuff. I'll never get the hang of it. That if only I had a few more months of practice, that maybe I'd be better at it. Lucy lets out a short snort. I mean, you're not that bad at it, most of the time anyway. I let out a single bitter chuckle. I must have been the single most boring guy you've ever dated. Lucy lightly punches me on the shoulder. That's bullshit and you know it. If anything, I'm the boring one. Lucy deflates and grabs onto her right arm. I mean, take away the spikes, wristbands, and stompers, and what do you have? A wonderful girl that single-handedly changed my life? Huh? Goddamn mumbling. I never really thought about it. I suppose you're trying hard to be... I suppose you trying hard at being tough was endearing to me, at least when you weren't physically assaulting me. There was something else, though. I knew it when we were talking on the rooftop. I wish I knew what that was. Lucy cringed, her hands moving to cover her face. Emotions warred across her face as she tried to form coherent words. I can't stop wondering what you saw in me back then. All this time we'd been hanging out, I still can't comprehend why you stuck around for us. Me. I consider for a moment, and a memory smashes away in the forefront of my thoughts. Glancing at her for a moment, the expression on her face sort of reminds me of something. Probably just leftover embarrassment from the concert, but she seemed to have a lost look in her face. Or maybe it was confusion, or a mix of the two. Either way, there's something on her mind. I can't help but think that must be how I looked on my first day. I think I felt like you. Lucy stares at me pleadingly with those beautiful citrine eyes of hers. For the longest time, I didn't know who I really was or wanted to be. I tightened my grip on Lucy's hand and stared deep into her eyes. Lucy, whatever you want me to do. Lucy, in response, glances away in what almost feels like shame. Almost instantly, I realize why. It was your idea. The two of us wanted so badly to avoid the subject, and yet here I was dredging it up and twisting the metaphorical knife deeper into the wound. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring her up. Please, don't think about Trish that way. She's not at fault. I'm just a fucking idiot. Lucy, I just forget that I have to walk on eggshells around certain topics. Lucy puffs her cheeks and jabs me in the ribs. Ow! Lucy crosses her arms and lets out a single scoff. Like I have to be careful when I catch you muttering, watching the newest season of Underage Penny Shot Quest and having a war flashback fits through the night. Oh, Anon, what's wrong? Please stop crying because you remember the projector innocent. War flashbacks. I won't go to war for at least a month after I pass boot camp, assuming I pass it, that is. Lucy raises an eyebrow. Rock bottom, war, Vietnam, you know what I'm saying. I moved on, okay? Just like how you moved on from that non-binary liberal Trish militantism, right? Who said I did? Lucy unfolds her arms and puts her head in her hands. I didn't work out as a tough person. I didn't work out as a big musician, and I sure as hell didn't work out as a good girlfriend. Look at us. This whole thing is making everyone alive around me hell, testing the waters, with identifying my gender. It was complete disaster. Mishka, stop chewing on my chair. You can't really compare the damage I did to myself to you jerking off to cartoons, okay? Lucy's eyes widen in horror as she face palms and falls back on the bed. Fuck, I might have said too much. I already ruined our last day together with stories, and when I was just a shit person. Lucy's eyes start to shimmer. Hey, it's fun to compare. I still like you, so I guess girls have it easier. Lucy picks herself up and gives me a narrowed-eyed stare. You just like me? Her eyes droop, and so do her shoulders. I'm not certain if she's serious. but suddenly she tosses herself into my arms. She puts her whole weight into her embrace, almost like she wants to tackle me. I try to hold us up both upright, but the awkward angle and the unevenness of the bed eventually causes us both to fall back. The world really does disappear when we're like this, something I'm infinitely glad for. Anon, do you like me better the way I was before, or do you like me better for who I am now? I say my next words without hesitation. You're much better now. No cutting weeds in my eyes or kicking me in the face, though I guess you miss your old life. I must feel like a killjoy in comparison. Lucy slides her head over my shoulder and wraps her arms up from underneath me. I don't care about that. This is so much better. I don't like being forced to care about something I'm usually indifferent towards or pay attention to what someone thinks is more important than what I'm already thinking about. I just want to figure it out on my own, you know? If you're talking about wanting us to marathon Lucky Star, then fine, I'll stop. Lucy pulls away from our embrace just enough to see the red of her cheeks and tears streaking in her eyes. You fucking dork. I let out a small chuckle as I wipe away some of her tears. I just like seeing you ramble. You'll find stuff that interests you. Just do you, Lucy. Our foreheads touch. She grabs my face with both of her hands, all the while looking at me like I'm the most precious thing in her life. All I want to do is bring her closer to me. I want to keep picking apart her brain, become acquainted with every single corner of her mind, and realize that there's something more to her. I love you, Lucy, so very, very much. Anon, I love you so very, very much. Nazer somehow manages to defy our expectations by being late for once. But that's good, as it gives Lucy and I the chance to spend the next 10 minutes gathering the last of my belongings and trashing what I couldn't take. With the apartment cleaned and cleared, I leave the keys on my kitchen counter, sparing one last look towards the place I called home for the last few months. As much as it sucked, the tiny excuse for a flat had been my sanctuary. Now that I was leaving it, part of me felt like I was losing a friend. I try not to think about it too much as Lucy and I make our way outside. Nazer isn't here yet, so we end up standing by the apartment lobby with nothing but our thoughts. A part of me thanked Nazer for his lateness. Gave Lucy and I some more time together. Lucy's the first to speak up and break the silence between us. What am I gonna do when you're gone? Lucy's words surprise me, but I'm ready for the answer at this time. You'll make it, Lucy. You're the only smart person I know. Lucy gives me a deadpan look. I'm being serious here, Anon. So am I. You're capable of so much. Lucy bashfully turns her head away, appreciating the compliment. Thanks, but what about you? Barely survived the stairs. I can't help but roll my eyes at Lucy's words. Thanks for having so much faith in me. Subconsciously, I let out a sigh. I know you'll have plenty of fun getting back to your own life, especially since there's no semester in the fall to hold you back. And mosh pits won't be as entertaining without you fumbling around awkwardly in them. I could do without them. You, on the other hand, seem eager to go back to that. What do you mean? Back to the mosh pits, meeting strange people, having fun, maybe going for that solo career I know you can achieve. A sobering thought races to the forefront of my mind. We might not see each other again. The possibility of that. I don't want to hold you back or make you waste your life waiting for me. Lucy got better, so I should too. But I'll never forget you, Lucy. Never. Lucy stirs like she just got stabbed in the heart. Fuck. That hurts like hell. It's not like that at all. She struggles to find the words, her beautiful face marred by her own warring emotions. Lucy, it's okay. I take her hand gently in mine, which seems to settle her thoughts at least. Last, Lucy's let out a soft sigh. When I laid on you and all that bunch of bullshit, when I opened up to you on the roof, my baggage, you thought the worst of me, didn't you? All the questionable and weird shit I must have done back that resulted in me. I thought I could be the better man and not judge you. That was still you, though, and that I came to care for. It's all in the past, then. The painful tone in her voice makes my heart ache. Lucy, you're still you. She looks really conflicted on the inside, like she's been holding back something. Anon, please, just know it doesn't matter now, alright? I hate what I did so much, and I'm willing to pretend that absolutely none of that happened. Her voice cuts out as she chews on her bottom lip. She's afraid her memories will be painful, but for me, that whole discovering myself quest had led me into talking and hanging out around people like Trish. Her voice is a hiss, and it's spitting venom with these words. The gender pronoun shit, no wonder high school sucked. No one would ever come near me and stick around to see where it went. I was so shitty to everyone that didn't get it. And all the people that that begged for me to be like them, they didn't care about me either. She growls, tears threaten to fall from her eyes. It was always a competition to see who had the worst baggage, and I always lost because I never had it that bad. I insisted so much on this thing. Lucy finally lets out a sob. Anon, I never wanted to dump all my baggage on you. It wasn't right. It... I draw her closer, and my hand rubbing the space between her wings so soothingly. Lucy, it's okay. You can let it out. Lucy buries her face on my shirt and takes a deep breath. That thing I used to be, I never realized it was so humiliating. Nazer may have known, and he suffered so much because of it. I think my parents also knew too, and I made them suffer so much for no real reason. Fuck. I was so blind to what I was doing to everyone around me for so long, and to think I was so convinced that being that thing would make me happy. But it was never meant to be. I really was just an ungrateful bitch. Lucy's hand squeezes mine as tight as she can muster, causing some discomfort. At last, she leans her head back, offering me a watery smile. I accept it, though. She needs this. I look deeply into Lucy's citrine eyes, returning my most comforting smile back. Before I can do anything else with my girlfriend, I hear the sound of tires screeching and the roar of an engine. A familiar gray-tone car pulls up right next to us, stopping so abruptly that it leaves a set of skid marks. Lucy reaches into her pocket and pulls out a $10 bill. I motioned for her to keep it. Something told me that where I was going, I wouldn't be needing money. As soon as the car comes to a complete stop, its driver disembarks, all the while munching on the remains of a delectable-looking hot dog. Sorry I'm late, guys. I decided to stop by Tracy's hot dog cart to get something to eat, but she took a bit longer than usual. Izzard chomps on the last bit of his meal and licks his fingers clean with a satisfied smile. Anyway, you two ready to go, or do you need a few more minutes? I look at the time on my phone. Much as I wanted time to stand still, the bus departing to boot camp would be leaving in less than an hour. I give Fang one last look, and in return she looks at me. We both know what needs to happen next. Doesn't make it any less painful. Without another word, Lucy and I get in the back of the NASCAR. Nazer, without a moment of hesitation, floors the gas pedal as he flies off down Skin Row's small street. Stop biting me. Part of me bids my old neighborhood, shitty as it was, a final farewell. The drive towards the pickup spot is quiet. Not one of the three of us wanted to say a word. 15 minutes of silent driving and we arrived at the designated pickup location. The three of us get out of the NASCAR and stand around the bus stop waiting for the inevitable. Lucy mentioned needing to do something, heading to the office. Or heading to the office, right? Yeah. The silence between Nazer and I is deafening. Nazer suddenly clears his throat. Listen, Anon. Yeah. You're gonna be gone for a while. Yeah. Yeah. So, riflemen or infantry, or whatever it's called, huh? What are they gonna make you do? Something like digging ditches? Not to come off as rude or anything. I sigh and shake my head. These two are starting to catch his poor words now. I mean, yeah, I'll be doing that too, but they had me take an ASVAB test. They wanted me to do some more mechanical stuff. I think the code thing was like 12K, 19K. They were pushing me into being a tank guy. Can you even drive, dude? Anyway, I decided something more up my alley. It's kind of like shitposting, but more official, I think. What's shitposting? Never mind. The number thing is 46R. Nazer nods his head and looks off. Before the silence had set in again, Nazar speaks up, his voice carrying a tone of relief. I've been meaning to say it for a while. Thanks, Anon, I mean it. I don't know what I was doing for a while. If you didn't take the hit and get us together at Moe's, I'd still be feeling sorry for myself like some loser. Honestly, I'd still be that scared little kid stressing over being something I didn't need to be. I didn't do much after all. It was Mo and Rosa, really. It was you and Lucy that patched things up. I'm glad you guys made amends. Nazar gives me a surprised look, but then smiles and nods. We hear the unmistakable roar of the city bus overpowering the other cars as it turns onto the street. Still a few lights away, though, so Nazar gets back to the driver's seat to leave Lucy and I alone. Lucy had come back at some point, and I was kind of happy that she kept quiet to give me and Nazar our moment. All this time, we avoided saying goodbye to each other, but eventually it had to happen. Lucy. Anon. A horrifying tugging pain hits me in the chest. You'll be fine when I'm gone, right? Yeah. I seriously have no idea what's going to happen to her. I reprehend any thought that something bad might happen, but still, can you promise me that if I do see you again, that you'll be a better person? Us both, better persons. Okay. I'll be a better person. But you have to promise me something too. That you'll come back. I mutter. Okay. She mutters. Okay. Good. It's settled then. We hugged once again, but she put some serious muscle into it, and I reciprocate. I want to feel the imprint of this embrace for hours. Her heart's racing, stronger. The bus driver grows impatient and starts honking. The time has come. Sure enough, I was still feeling Lucy's hug after we separated, and Nazar rolls down the window of the car. Good luck, man. Same, man. I gripped his hand. He squeezed my hand in return and then recoiled. My grip was stronger than he was anticipating. I got inside and waved back to them. I gave the driver my regards and laid back, looking at my feet. I must have thought about a lot of things then, like, what if I just got jumped out the window and ran to her, or if I would die and never see her again, like that Green Snoot music video. I looked back to see if I could still get a glimpse of her. My eyes frantically searched the small figures, and there she was. I caught her mid-motion, crying in Nazar's shoulders. And then the bus rounds the corner, and they're gone. Vanished from each other's lives. I thought this was going to be the last one. I'm going to cut this off, and if it isn't the end, immediately, then I guess... If it is the end immediately, I'll, stitch the videos together. If not, then, I guess I'll see you in the next one. Peace.